Hey guys, what's up? It's me, E, coming at you with another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be taking a look at some balance changes that are coming on the 15th. We're going to take a look at a new troop coming in 17 days, the Electro Wizard, and we're going to be taking a brief look at a new arena. Ooh, I'm excited about that one. So let's jump right in and talk about some of these balance changes. So first of all, the Elite Barbarians, they're going to get a 19% hit point buff, a 14% damage buff, and their hit speed is going to be decreased from 1.4 seconds to 1.5 seconds. And so these guys started out, in Supercell's own words, not elite. And they're definitely going to make them something that you can't ignore any longer. The Tornado, the radius is going to be increased by 10%, so it's going to pull in more things, and it's going to have a stronger pulling power. The Tornado has been kind of fun. It's been an interesting card, but it hasn't really seen a lot of use. So I think this is definitely going to be good. I'm interested to see the stronger pulling power. I want to see it pull troops across the bridge. I want to see it pull troops to the King Tower. If we see some of those interactions, I think the Tornado may be a pretty good card and have a place in some decks. Next up, the Inferno Dragon. He's going to get a 5% hit point buff, and he's going to retarget almost half a second quicker, so 0.4 seconds quicker. I don't know that I agree with this. I think the Inferno Dragon is pretty strong as he is. I think he's such a threat, right? Like, he could easily be distracted, so I'm kind of okay with that, but I don't think he needs more health. I think he's already kind of tanky, and if you don't deal with him, he's gonna wreck you. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think Supercell just wants to make sure that the Inferno Dragon sees a little more use up at the top, so they're trying to make him a little more attractive. The Balloon. This one makes me so happy, and I don't know why. They're increasing the death damage for the balloon by 105%, and the death damage explosion radius by 50%. So it's always been great once it gets there, but it can die so easily. We all know what that's like. You send in your balloon, here it goes, here it goes, here it goes, it gets just to the tower, and no, it doesn't even get a swing off. So, and that's a lot of elixir for a card that may not do anything, right? So I'm glad that I'm really, really glad to see that they have increased the radius of the explosion, because that was very small. And the death damage, well, we'll see. I'm not sure how much damage that's going to put it at, but it will hopefully start killing things in the area. You know, according to Supercell, it'll kill goblins and archers now, so I think that's going to make it significantly more appealing. Next, the Wizard. His hit speed has been lowered to 1.4 seconds from 1.6, and his initial attack is actually going to be a little bit slower by 0.2 of a second. At 5 elixir, the fact that he dies almost immediately to lightning, in a lightning heavy meta, so straight out of Supercell's words, the Wizard needs a little bit more for him in order for him to be worth the risk of a troop that you drop on the battlefield. Now, the Giant Skeleton, damage plus 8%. I don't know how I feel about this. The Giant Skelly is kind of, he's not hard to counter, but in the current meta, there aren't a lot of good counters for him. The Ice Golem is not bad, but now he's going to do plus 8% damage. This is actually going to help out the lower level players a lot. I don't see a lot of Giant Skeleton play either in higher end challenges, or even in ladder play. You just don't see it very much. And if you watch, you watch TV Royale and see some of those replays, you won't see a lot of Giant Skeletons. However, on my alt accounts where I play lower level stuff, so some Arena 4 or Arena 5, Giant Skeleton sees a lot of play. So I think that's going to be interesting. I think that's going to dominate the lower level meta, and I think everybody's going to have a counter for it. But I think the Giant Skeleton's going to see a lot more play, even more so in the lower level. Lumberjack, hit points plus 6%. More hit points allow him to survive longer, giving your sporting troops enough time to get in range of his rage. I don't really love the Lumberjack. I feel like he's already a little too strong. He is a legendary, but he doesn't see a lot of use. I feel like if I'm choosing between Lumberjack and Mini P.E.K.K.A, I'm almost always going to go with Mini P.E.K.K.A. With Lumberjack, because he hits so much faster. So the average amount of damage he does is greater. And now with the 6% buff, the only reason I ever would have chosen Mini P.E.K.K.A over is because he's a little tankier. But now that they're buffing the Lumberjack, any Mini P.E.K.K.A deck that you have may see a Lumberjack get swapped in if you are fortunate enough to have one. The Bomber, plus 4 damage. I'm seeing a lot more Bomber. I like him. He's kind of a staple to Supercell. And I like that he's going to be able to one-shot archers, and I expect to see him dropped behind some tankier troops in the future, giants, etc. Mortar. This should make you Siege deck users very, very happy. Boulder explosion radius of plus 11%. Mortar's boulders will land with a bigger splash and damage a larger area. And that's because Mortar is just kind of hard to play right now. There are a couple Twitch people and a couple YouTubers who love Mortar decks. I suck with the Mortar. I think I played with it once. Anyway, I'm not very good. But this should help you Mortar players out. So great. I'm all for expanding the meta, and hopefully that'll do that a little bit. And then again, the last thing is that the mirror, level 8 mirror, will now create max level +1 cards again. So that's good if you like the mirror. Mirror sees hit and miss play, and I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see the mirror. I think it's a fun card. I think it adds a lot of interesting dynamics to the game. So hopefully by rebuffing that, we'll see some more mirror play in the game. Alright, so up next we're going to get into the Electro Wizard, which is a legendary. He will be out in 17 days from this recording. He costs 4 elixir. He lands with a POW, stunning nearby enemies, and continues to show off by zapping 2 at a time. His favorite movie is T2. I don't know if this is going to be a chain lightning, or if he's going to fall and just spread his arms wide and blast 2 different guys. It's hard to say. At 550 hit points, he's got a lot of health, guys. That's more than a cannon. And his damage per second at 117 and his damage at 200 means he's doing a little bit more damage than goblins. So this guy's gonna be tough. And look, he's gonna have 169 spawn damage with the half-second stun. So you drop this guy on, say, 3 Musketeers, and maybe you've already hit them with something. You drop that, he's gonna blast them, stun them, then blast them. I mean, he'll do damage, stun them, and then attack. He's fast. He attacks air and ground. He's got a good range of 5 and a deploy time of a second. This guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Now, he does have that Dr. Wily kind of look to him, so those of you who played Mega Man know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm excited to see another wizard thrown into the game. I'm a little tired of them adding legendaries. You can only have so many legendaries before they're not really legendary anymore. So, I mean, I haven't done the numbers, but it almost feels like we have more legendaries than we do epics, and that doesn't quite make sense to me, but c'est la vie. And anyway, that's going to do it for the Electro Wizard. So coming up last is the new arena, the Jungle Arena, which will require 2,600 trophies, 2,600 to 2,999. So it's going to fit in right between your Frozen Peaks and your Legendary Arena. And it's going to get some new cards too. In fact, some exciting new cards that we will talk about in the next video. The arena itself is actually pretty cool. It's very dark. It's got goblins up at the top, 2 giant goblin heads. It's got gold on the left. It's got kind of a swampy river in the middle. I am not a part of the Supercell beta, unfortunately. So what information I do have, I've been able to gather from some other YouTubers, particularly Nick at Night. He's done a great job. And in the next video, in the description, I will definitely link to some of his gameplay and some of his sneak peeks. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode, and I'll catch you guys later.